So Timothy says, hey guys, I picked up a short domain and looking to build my own shortener. In terms of powering it up with links, what would you recommend? Was considering bulk web 2s, but having second thoughts after last hump day hangout, looking for the most cost effective and gradually strengthen the entire domain. So when new short links are made to tier 1 assets and money site and money site, it is pretty powerful. In that case, Timothy, I don't have a problem with, using kind of more bulk type links for like link shorteners, because I mean, I guess if you're doing it in-house only and you're not sharing those links or the ability to shorten links with other people, then you can go with just the higher stuff. But I've got, some of my own branded link shorteners that I've created for different projects that I use that just naturally, like I use a lot of, for example, for client SEO, a lot of the times I will build links when I'm doing link building for client assets, I will use link shorteners so that, in case they decide they don't want me or need me anymore, I can redirect those shorteners, those shortened URLs to wherever I want to power up my own assets or other, their competitors that hire me instead. You can call it dirty or whatever you want, but I call it job security. So, I don't do that all the time, but I've been doing more of that, meaning if I'm going to be building, like high quality guest posts or link insertions, instead of having it linked directly to the client site, I have it go through a redirect, which is one of my own branded shorteners. And that way, like I said, if something happens that they decide they don't, want my services anymore, then I can redirect that domain, that redirect to one of my own assets or to another client asset or whatever. And so over time that powers up. Another good strategy for that is press releases. I do a shit ton of press releases. And so I like to use kind of redirects and press releases as well. And because over time, again, it powers up that redirect domain so that when you create a new redirect, it instantly has some authority, like some inherent authority, if that makes sense. Although, like I said, I'm not totally opposed to using bulk links to kind of power that kind of stuff up, but just be, because over time it will accrue kind of domain authority. So I guess it just depends. It really depends on where you're using and that sort of thing. I prefer to use higher quality links now than really bulk spam. Web 2 links are still valuable though in certain regards. For like changing anchor text ratios and things like that. Those are great. I like to, Jesper's method with high quality tumblers or high powered tumblers is a great method. There's some providers on Legit. I'm going to share my link provider sheet with you guys here at the end of the webinar from Legit. These are all people that I've vetted. I've found a lot of really good link providers, and there's some Web 2 links providers in there that have like aged Web 2s that are niche relevant. And it's not a lot. You're not getting high volume, but you get pretty good, pretty powerful Web 2 links that are good for like balancing anchor text ratios and stuff like that. It's not my primary link building method, but there are times that they're, I think, useful. So I do still have some of those gigs that I'll use. I just don't do very much of it anymore. I like to focus on higher quality links, if that makes sense. So for a redirect URL, like a domain, like my suggestion is just start using it. It will naturally start to accrue power the more you use it. I've got one that I've been using for my tree care agency that's maybe a year old now, and it's pretty powerful. And it's just because over the last year, it's just accrued a lot of links because of what I just mentioned. So anyway, what do you think about that, Jesper?
Well, I think that if you're going to power up, a domain and and you're going to build out Web 2s in hands, as I guess that Timothy, that's what he's talking about. I have a list of Web 2s that I prefer to use, something like EMGUR, if you know that image.
Yes.
And Stay Keen, that's new. I just discovered. It's a new property by Google, Stay Keen. And expired tumblers, and you can also expired Twitter profile, expired Weebly, expired WordPress. There are actually a lot of expired Web 2s that you can actually use to power up your shortener. So yeah. So just go ahead and a new Twitter profile has a PA of 58. So a brand new Twitter profile has a page authority of 58. And you can actually, every time you make it a rule, that's what I do. Every time I build a link, a citation or article or whatever, blog post, I put a link to my Twitter profile for that client or for that website. And for my agency Twitter profile, it has a page authority of 72, I think. So it's completely crazy.
Wow.
So when I build Twitter moments from my agency profile and from other Twitter profiles, that really moves the needle. And these Twitter moments, they also appear in the SERPs. So they appear actually on page 1.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching your update videos for the Twitter Moments course, and it's crazy what you're doing over there, man. So it's awesome.